In the heart of the Philippines, a giant lay sleeping. For over 600 years, Mount Pinatubo was quiet, its slopes covered in dense jungle, home to thousands of indigenous Ita people. But in the spring of 1991, the giant began to stir. It all started with a rumble. On April 2nd, a series of earthquakes shook the region, followed by steam explosions that ripped open 3 craters near the summit. The awakening had begun. For the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, these were alarming signs. They quickly teamed up with the United States Geological Survey, or USGS, who happened to be nearby at Clark Air Base. Together, they set up a network of seismic monitors and instruments to track the volcano's every breath. The data was terrifying. Magma was rapidly rising from deep within the earth, pressurizing the system like a soda can being shaken. The scientists knew a massive eruption was not just possible but imminent. Their warnings triggered one of the largest and most successful volcanic evacuations in history. Tens of thousands of people living on the volcano's flanks, including all personnel from Clark Air Base, were moved to safer ground. It was a race against time, a monumental effort to save lives from a catastrophe that was brewing just beneath their feet. They didn't have to wait long. On June 15, 1991, Mount Pinatubo unleashed its full fury. The eruption was cataclysmic, one of the largest of the 20th century. A colossal column of ash, gas, and rock rocketed an incredible 40 kilometers into the sky, punching through the atmosphere and spreading out like a dark, menacing umbrella. The sky turned to night at midday. Superheated avalanches of ash and gas, known as pyroclastic flows, roared down the mountainside at hurricane speeds, incinerating everything in their path. The landscape was instantly transformed into a gray, barren wasteland. As if the eruption wasn't devastating enough, nature delivered a cruel 1-2 punch. On the very same day, Typhoon Yunya made landfall, its powerful winds and torrential rains mixing with the volcanic ash. This created a nightmarish cement-like rain that collapsed roofs and buildings under its immense weight. The rain also mobilized the vast deposits of volcanic debris, creating thick, fast-moving mudflows called lahars. These lahars were like rivers of wet concrete, choking valleys and burying entire towns, continuing to be a deadly threat for years after the main eruption. When the dust finally began to settle, the scale of the destruction was breathtaking. The once majestic summit of Pinatubo was gone, replaced by a massive crater, or caldera, 2.5 kilometers wide. The eruption had ejected so much material that the surrounding landscape was buried under meters of ash and debris. Tragically, despite the successful evacuations, hundreds of lives were lost, mostly due to collapsing roofs and the devastating lahars that followed. But the impact of Pinatubo wasn't just local. It was global. The eruption injected about 20 million tons of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere. This gas formed a hazy layer of sulfuric acid droplets that encircled the globe, reflecting sunlight back into space. The result? For the next 2 years, the average global temperature dropped by about 0.5 degrees Celsius. It was a stark reminder of how a single geological event on one side of the planet can affect the entire world's climate. In the decades since, the region around Mount Pinatubo has slowly begun to heal. Life has returned to the once barren slopes, and the Aida people have adapted to their transformed homeland. The massive caldera is now filled with a stunning crater lake, a place of serene beauty born from immense destruction. The story of Pinatubo is a powerful tale of nature's awesome power, the incredible success of science in predicting disaster, and the enduring resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable change. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into our planet's most incredible events. See you in the next video.